Good morning, folks. Good morning. Just going to double check that we are all good and live on the correct channels today. Health and wellness should be live, yes? All good. Brilliant. Lovely, guys. Okay. So a quick 10 minutes on the mat. We're just going to do a little bit of stretching and mobility for hips. So obviously, if you do have any hip problems, please take some medical advice with exercises that you are able to do. Otherwise, if you're just a little bit stiff, a little bit tight, want a little bit of movement, these can be slotted in any time in your day, before a walk, after a run, lunchtime if you've been sat down for quite a while, all that sort of jazz. So we're going to start on our bottoms. And I'm just going to get you to just gently rock yourself from side to side. So we're just rocking through side to side. So some of you will feel like you want to bring both legs over at the same time. But what I like to try and do, if that's possible, is to try and bring the knees in like so. Yeah, so we're all going to be very different. Please make sure you're a little bit warmer as well before you start. I've just done a class already, so I'm quite warm. So you could start that a little bit slower, go less. You can take your arms off here as well if you want to make that a little bit more work through your abdominals. We're just going side to side. And just notice how far you can get that knee down. Is it equidistant on each side? Or remember to keep it here. Good. So just getting a little bit of warmth into those hips. Lovely. Good. Bring the legs out front. Give them all a little bit of a shake off. And then bring yourselves around to your knees. You can do this in standing. So this is a 90-90 stretch. And we're going to actively move in that stretch at the moment. You're going to tuck your pelvis gently forwards back. Not going easy, especially if they're a little bit tight. They can kind of go, ooh, catch you by surprise. So a few little pelvic tilts. If you prefer to do that in standing, you can do that here. Yeah, we can pad up your knees. And then we're going to tilt the pelvis forward and hold it here. And then just take a little reach of your arms up overhead. You notice that that might feel a little bit stronger. If you're feeling brave, you can lean away from that back leg. And then come back to the center and then release down. Good, let's swap sides. So swing the other leg around. Take your time there. Just take a little tilt forward and back here. Oof. Just go in a little bit easy. Don't go too aggressive. So as I say, we just want to get that whole area moving, and then you can hold the tilt forwards. You can reach the arms up over your head. Take a little stretch through there. Maybe leaning over to the side if you want to. Lovely. And then slowly release, come back to the center. I'm now going to come into a child's pose, but wide. So the knees are wide. You can bring this into frog if you want to bring the ankles either side as well. And I'm just pressing gently back. Normal child's pose would be fine. And then I can just take this into a little rock forwards and back as well. So I'm just easing in. That's too strong. Just a child's pose, guys. Yeah. So we're just going back and forth. So you could repeat these little drills as many times as you like. And then come back to the center, bring the knees underneath your hips, come back to that seated position, and then just rock the legs from side to side. Brilliant. Okay, so let's hold the legs over to one side, hold it here, and then maneuver yourself into ready for a swan pose. So this back leg can be bent or straight. You're going to lean forwards. If you can manage to get that back leg straight, bring the hip around and lay yourself all the way down. Oof. So you're going to get that probably more around the outside of the hip, a little bit of it in the thigh possibly. Push yourself up, inhale to lift, and exhale to lower yourself all the way down. Brilliant. And then from here, press yourself up, come back to the center, rock the legs over to the other side, and come in. So I'm just whizzing through some of these exercises. You can obviously take longer in some of them if they feel particularly good for your hips. And then coming up and coming down. So just finding yourself in that little position, feeling how that feels for you. Good. And then slowly release. Bring yourself back up and around. Bring your legs back. And then take another little rock from side to side. I love these. Can you tell? Okay. We're going to go over to this side again. And then swing it around and then open up through that top spiral stretch here. And then you can grab this foot here. If you want to come down, just come down, grab the foot, lean your body weight onto the mat and just open up through the front of the quads and into the hips. Brilliant. And then release. Okay, come down. Let's do another little rock. You can never do too many of these. And then over to the side. Good. I always imagine that my bottom's getting so much smaller when I do those. Okay. Hasn't worked yet. Okay, open up and lift through the side body. And then you can grab that top foot if you want to do slightly harder version, or you can come down if you want to do a slightly easier variation to that. Brilliant. And then release. Just roll over onto your backs. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Now you can pull the knees wide. Another of my favorite stretches. Happy baby pose. Press the hands down onto the feet. And then you might want to take a little rock here. Pressing the lower back towards the ground. Looking like you're the happiest baby ever. And move the legs. Brilliant. Okay. So bring your legs together, roll yourself all the way up to standing. We're actually going to finish with a little bit of movement. So just come back up. Let's just come up into standing and just give me some little rotations here. So you could start with these, then go down to the floor. You could finish with these like we're doing today. So we're just going one and a little step to change. Good. Take the feet wide, come down into a little sumo stretch and just really rock out through your hips here. Now you're welcome to stay here. You can stretch there. You can take a little bit of movement. I'm going to add in a little bit of a lateral lunge. The knees are tracking over the middle toes. And I'm just turning my chest here a little bit as well, just to get a little bit of spinal activity there. Good, side to side. Brilliant. And then just come back to the center and just hold that stretch here again. Walk the feet back in. Roll yourself all the way up. Maybe do a couple more of these. And we're done. So just a few little hip drills, hip stretches that might help you if you're feeling a little bit tight in that whole area. Take a deep breath in, guys. Give everything a little shake out. Give yourselves a little tap. Give yourselves a big clap. And thank you so much for joining. Hashtag replay, hashtag record. Let me know how you got on. Let me know any requests that you have for stretches, little mini 10-minute workouts. And I'm happy to slot those in on a Feel Good Friday. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, gang.